The first thing they noticed was the smell. Not pine, not smoke from a campfire, something sweeter, heavier. A father and his 2 daughters are hiking outside Bergen, Norway. It's November 1970. The air is wet, cold, thin. They take a shortcut through a steep, rocky gully the locals already have a name for, Death Valley. Up ahead, half hidden between black boulders, something pale catches the girl's eye, a shape, almost human. Her dad climbs closer, calling over his shoulder, "Stay back." He crests the rocks and freezes. Lying on her back is a woman, badly burned. Arms bent at her sides, fists clenched. Hair gone, skin blackened and blistered. Around her, 2 empty liquor bottles, a smashed plastic water bottle that still smells of gasoline, a broken umbrella, and next to her foot, a watch and jewelry placed neatly on a rock as if someone arranged them like an offering. There are no shoes, no bag, no ID, just a ruined body in the middle of nowhere. Within hours, one thing is clear. No one has any idea who this woman is. Within days, they'll realize she didn't just die strangely, she lived strangely, under at least 9 fake names, with code in her notebook, and possibly a Cold War secret that died with her. You are watching Mourad's Mysteries, and this is the story of the Isdal Woman. 29 November 1970. Police arrive in the Isdalen Valley just outside Bergen. The smell is stronger now, burned fat, melted fabric. The body is lying on a slab of rock, shielded by bigger boulders. Fire has licked up from the waist, charring the front of her body, but the clothes underneath aren't completely gone. They can still see a wool dress, stockings, a bra strap melted into her skin. Nearby, they find a half-melted plastic water bottle that reeks of gasoline, 2 empty bottles that once held cheap liqueur, dozens of sleeping pills in the woman's stomach, and more blister packs in a melted plastic bag, a packed lunch barely touched. On a rock by her feet, her watch, a ring, and earrings, all laid out deliberately. It looks, at first glance, like a suicide. Pills, alcohol, fire. But certain details bother the detectives. Her hands and front are burned. Her back, pressed against damp rock, is not. Cause of death? A mix of carbon monoxide from the fire and an overdose of sleeping pills, which means she was still breathing when the flames reached her. Someone took scissors and carefully removed every brand tag, every size marker, anything that could point to a country or a store. This valley already erased. But 10 days later, at a railway station, she starts to come back to life. The official story will say she did this to herself, but from the very beginning the scene feels staged. And when they try to identify her, it goes from strange to impossible. She's around 5'4", slim, dark hair, brown eyes, between 25 and 40. Well-dressed, or she had been before the fire. Her teeth show expensive, unusual dental work. Gold crowns, a style dentists say is common in parts of Europe, but not in Norway. They check missing persons. Nothing. They run her fingerprints through national records. Nothing. Then they examine her clothes more closely. Every single label is gone. Investigators recanvass the city. A clerk at the train station remembers something. A black, hard-shelled suitcase that's been sitting unclaimed in a locker for days. Police open it. Inside, they finally meet the Isdal Woman. Kind of. Contents include neatly folded clothes, a wig, prescription glasses with no actual prescription in the lenses, a comb and hairbrush with the hair removed, a notepad filled with strange letters and numbers, a plastic bag that once held shoe polish, a jar of eczema cream with the doctor's name and address scratched off. Again, every clothing label has been cut out, every hint of a manufacturer removed. But hidden in a pocket, they find money, German marks, Norwegian kroner, and coins from Belgium, Switzerland, and the UK. She's been moving. A lot. Working backward from the coded note, police check hotel registries across Norway. They find her again and again. Same face, different names. Genevieve Lancier from Belgium, Claudia Tielt, Claudia Nielsen, Fenella Lorch, at least 9 identities in total. She always claims to be from small towns that, when checked, don't really match her story. Her handwriting changes slightly, but the pattern stays the same. Always pays in cash, no permanent address, says she's a traveling saleswoman or an antiques dealer or just on holiday. Sometimes speaks German, sometimes English, once overheard speaking fluent French. Hotel staff remember her as elegant, hushed, wearing wigs that changed her look. One waitress recalls something else. After dinner, the stranger leaned in and said quietly, "I've been to Norway before. I had to come back because something happened." She doesn't explain what, and the waitress, not wanting to pry, doesn't ask. Then they crack the notebook, not with some elaborate cipher key, with common sense. The code turns out to be notes noting dates and places. F for Frankfurt, O for Oslo, B for Bergen. A travel diary, written to look meaningless. But why? Who needs code for hotel stays? Unless those hotel stays were under names that weren't hers. When the story breaks in the newspapers, mystery woman burned in the valley, no name, no past, more witnesses come forward. A shoe shop owner remembers her buying expensive boots. An Italian photographer remembers sharing a table with her in a hotel, finding her mysterious but sad. One man says he saw her walking in the mountains above Bergen with 2 foreign-looking men 2 weeks before she died. If she was just a depressed tourist, why the wigs? Why the false names? Why the erased labels and coded diary? And why does all of this look so much like a spy? Norwegian police quietly ask Allied intelligence services if they've lost a spy. The answer, officially, is no. Unofficially, nobody says much of anything. The autopsy says suicide. Overdose plus fire. Case closed. No investigation into possible murder, no big espionage inquiry, just a lonely, anonymous end. But that conclusion leaves a lot hanging. If she meant to kill herself, why take so many steps to hide who she was? If someone else killed her, why leave the pills? Why arrange the jewelry? And after 50 years, why has no one, no family, no friend, ever successfully claimed her? They publish the image. Women in Germany come forward thinking she might be a long-lost relative. A few families submit DNA. No match. They run her profile through international missing persons databases. Nothing. Whoever she was, she left almost no trace. Or her trace was in a place that, for whatever reason, doesn't talk. A small town behind the Iron Curtain, a family told never to ask questions, a line in some forgotten intelligence file still locked away. Today, hikers still walk the trail,
where the father and his daughters found her. Most don't know the exact spot. The rocks have shifted. Grass has grown over old scars. But the story hangs in the air. A woman with 9 names, wigs and cash and coded notes, perfectly erased clothing, burned in a place already called Death Valley, and a verdict that never quite fits. Suicide or spy? Desperate tourist? Or someone caught in a game we still don't understand?
The story goes quiet for decades. Then, in the 2010s, Norwegian broadcaster NRK and the BBC reopen the case, this time with better tools. They extract DNA from her old jawbone. Isotope analysis of her teeth suggests she grew up in Central Europe, likely somewhere on the border regions of Germany and France. Her dental work matches styles from that area, too. They recreate her face with modern forensic techniques.
Somewhere, if she wasn't truly alone, there may still be someone who remembers a daughter, a sister, who vanished around 1970, who said she was going traveling, who sent one last postcard, and never came back. Until that happens, she is the Isdal Woman, Norway's most famous Jane Doe, and one of the Cold War's quietest, strangest mysteries.